The small alley where Henry's family lived was always a wonderful environment for the boy to learn how to be a gentleman. With each passing day, the situations that arose were new pages in the book of kindness. Dad Thomas was always present as a peaceful and steadfast harbor, using silence to teach his son about responsibility, while Mom Mary was a refreshing spring of empathy, using sweet storytelling to help Henry understand that every small action leaves a mark in the hearts of those around him. On a sunny afternoon, Henry was excitedly performing legendary soccer kicks along the alley. In a moment of overexcitement, the blue plastic ball flew off and slammed into the neighbor's green plastic trash can. Thud! The bin flipped over, spilling milk cartons, scrap paper, and fruit peels all over the concrete road. Henry froze for a second, looked at the messy trash, and was about to turn and run, thinking it is their trash, they will clean it up later. Dad Thomas was leaning against the gate, witnessing everything. He did not say a word to scold, he simply walked into the middle of the alley, stood silently looking at the trash and then at Henry. His eyebrows furrowed just a little, and his eyes showed a look of concern and seriousness. He slightly pressed his lips, slowly kneeling on one knee to be at his son's eye level. He placed his hand on the ball Henry was hugging, his voice deep and warm, but incredibly decisive. Henry, a true champion, does not just know how to kick the ball well, he also knows how to fix his accidental losses. Mom Mary also stepped out, holding a small broom and a dustpan. She sat down next to them, her eyes crinkling with overflowing love. She used her soft hand to stroke his slightly shrinking shoulders, whispering, "My good Henry, do you see how hard the neighbor worked to keep the trash can neat? Try to imagine if you just finished building a beautiful Lego set and someone accidentally knocked it over and walked away without helping you pick it up. Would you feel sad and lonely?" Henry looked down at the trash, murmuring, "Yes, I'd be very sad because I'd have to pick it up alone." "That is right, my love," Mom Mary smiled gently. "The neighbor will feel the same way if he sees trash spilled on the road." The ball did not mean it, but Henry's hands can help the ball friend do a good deed. "Shall we pick it up together so our alley looks as beautiful as before? It'll give the trash collecting superhero a hand." His mother's invitation made Henry feel lighter. The boy quickly grabbed the dustpan and, along with his parents, picked up every piece of paper and put back in the bin. Seeing the alley clean again, Henry felt even prouder than when he scored a goal. Dad Thomas gently rubbed his son's head, his eyes sparkling with boundless encouragement. On a weekend, Henry excitedly brought his car washing kit and bubble bottle to the alley. He mixed a bucket full of soapy white foam, shimmering like clouds. After playing, Henry carelessly dumped the entire bucket of slippery soapy water onto the shared path and headed inside to watch cartoons. The soapy water shimmered, creating an invisible trap on the concrete surface. Dad Thomas was leading his bicycle into the yard. Seeing the soapy puddle, he immediately stopped. He stood silently, looking at the puddle and then at Henry. His face was serene, and his eyes showed a serious reminder. He blinked slowly walked over and stood in front of the puddle to ensure no one passed through. He called Henry back in a steady voice, "Henry, look at how this bubble mirror is changing the road surface." Mom Mary came out with the garden hose. She sat on the steps, drawing Henry close. Her eyes shone with tolerance. She gently explained, "My dear Henry, this soapy water looks very pretty with those rainbow colors, but it is just like a layer of slippery ice. Think about it. If the neighbor was coming home from work, or a little friend was running and slipped because of this puddle, they would get very hurt." Mom took his tiny hand. "Your fun is only truly complete when it does not endanger others. Do you want to use this hose with Daddy to blow away this slippery soap layer? We will make the road dry and safe again for everyone." Mom's empathetic analysis helped Henry understand the danger of his game. The boy excitedly held the hose along with Dad Thomas, spraying water forcefully to clean the road. Henry sprayed while checking if any slippery spots remained. When the road was spotless, Dad Thomas smiled, his smile dispelling all worry, helping Henry understand that caring for everyone's safety is something to be very proud of. In the afternoon, Henry went over to play at neighbor Toby's house. When he returned, Mom Mary saw Henry clenching his hand inside his pocket, his face looking a bit restless. Once in his room, Henry tentatively pulled out a beautiful small red car. Henry thought he has many cars, surely he will not notice if I borrow one to play with. Dad Thomas was standing at the door seeing Henry holding the strange car. He did not scold or accuse. He simply walked over and knelt in front of his son. His eyes were incredibly calm, but carried the weight of teaching. He slightly pursed his lips, looked at the car, and then deep into Henry's eyes. Henry, does this little red friend have a name on your toy list? Henry lowered his head, his lips trembling slightly, whispering no. I saw it was so pretty, so I just took it to play with for a bit. Mom Mary gently stepped over, hugging Henry and letting him rest his head on her shoulder. Her eyes crinkled with overflowing love and understanding. She whispered in a soft voice, "Good boy, Henry. I know this car is wonderful and you like it very much. But try to imagine, if tonight Toby wants to find this car to hug to sleep, and it is nowhere to be found, he will be very sad and cry a lot, right? He will look everywhere and worry about losing his close friend." Mom gently lifted Henry's chin. A toy only truly brings joy when it belongs to us. Taking a friend's things without asking makes your heart feel uncomfortable, and your friendship with Toby will be hurt too. A brave boy is one who knows how to fix his mistakes. Now, do you want to go to Toby's house with Daddy, return the car, and say a sincere apology? I believe Toby will be very happy that you brought his friend back. His mother's whispers lifted the weight off Henry's heart. The boy stopped crying, held Dad Thomas' hand tightly, and went to his friend's house. When the car was returned and Toby smiled and forgave him, Henry felt immensely relieved. Dad Thomas gently rubbed his son's head, his eyes sparkling with pride because Henry chose to live honestly and respect the property rights of others.